Hi everyone, I'm Smriti Chabra, your Miss Universe Delhi 2025, and welcome to Unstitched with Smriti. Here we unfold and unravel stories from the modeling, pageant, and Bollywood industry. So if you're someone who's interested around these topics, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, these stories are straight from the heart, so you would probably not listen to such conversations anywhere else. And today with us, we have none other than Manika Vishwakarma, our Miss Universe India 2025. And trust me on this, the conversation that we're going to have today is going to be unfiltered. Disclaimer that this version of Manika you will find nowhere else. So, hi Manika, how are you?
Hello, Miss Chabra. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely well. Are you excited for today?
Super excited.
Okay, let's start smooth. आप मुझे बताओ अपने बारे में कुछ. I know a lot about you, but the audience does not. So tell me something जो audience जान के shock हो जाएगी कि okay, this is something about Manika, or is this our Miss Universe India? It would be hard for them to believe.
Hmm. So, one thing about me that I have to tell. Yes, everybody sees me as Miss India and all that, but one thing I have to say, I think you would also agree. Whenever, if you ever choose to do a deep dive in any of the Miss India's ka life journey, it would literally shock you that this is actually the person that they are. Because what I've seen is I'm more than Miss India or anything, I'm just a normal girl, right? I come from Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. I've done my schooling from there, my college from Delhi University. And one day, I just decided, I want to do something different. And that's how I came here. So,
So you
yes,
decided that in a day, or was it like a preparation that went
I've
on?
always wanted to be a Miss India. I always wanted to be Miss Universe, to be very specific. When I was a little girl, I was kind of fed into these dreams by my mother, actually. And she's always tried to show me ki, oh, see, this is Sushmita Sen, ye Aishwarya Rai, how beautiful they are. And I was like, how to be that, right? And she would tell me this is the pathway. But as a kid, you don't know anything about pageantry.
Yes.
But yes, when I went to college, that is when I finally gathered that courage, because my college girls used to tell me that, you should go for it. And that kind of support gave me that courage, because I always wanted to be a part of teen pageants. And I've been following pageantry since I was 13 years old.
Long
So
time. 10
that,
years?
yes,
Wow.
for past 10 years I've been following pageants, and that's how my journey has been.
Who was your favorite Miss India while you were researching, learning, following pageants?
So one of my favorite Miss Indias has to be Manpreet Brar.
Oh, lovely. Yes. Exceptional.
I love Madhu Sapre and I love Manpreet Brar,
Mm-hmm.
because when I started following pageantry, I don't know how it shaped up like that, but I used to watch 90s pageants at
Mm-hmm.
that time, because all the shows were actually available on YouTube.
Yes.
And they were not that big. They were just a 1 hour finales, and I was able to go through them. It was fun, it was different, and I enjoyed watching that. So that's why most of my favorite Miss Indias, they were coming from that phase. I really like Namrata Shirorkar's performance as
Yes,
well.
of course, yeah. You've named some OGs. And what is that difference that you see in the 90s or the early 2000s pageant world and now that you are a part of it?
Early 2000s and 90s ka pageant world, if I have to say, it was more about, how do I say, personal brand, right? It was just about, you can be anything, you have to go on stage. For them, you're just a person, you're just a girl there. You stand there, you smile, you look pretty, there's something that you want to say, they'll ask you, oh, how are you, who are you? And you tell them, I'm this, I'm that, and then that's it, right? That was the beauty of 90s, that was the beauty of the 2000s, that you get to see people who look like you and talk like you and come from the same backgrounds as you. Now when I talk about pageant world, it is a lot more glamorous, a lot more opportunities have come in, and kind of I felt that more than the personal brand, it's also now about carrying your country, your organization, and a lot many other factors kind of attached to it.
Yeah.
So that's a major difference. There are some positives to it and there's some negatives to it as well.
Of course, yeah.
So that's about it.
What I feel about is that earlier pageants used to look for raw girls who
Yeah.
they could mold into a personality. But for now, I think people are looking for girls who are already groomed and need a little bit of polishing here and there.
I think that scene was there at that time as well. We often misunderstand that, okay, girls were not prepared at that time and they were looking for raw talents.
Hmm.
I would beg to differ because in 90s as well, and if you see in 2000s as well,
Hmm.
the performances were extremely strong.
Of course.
And they were well polished girls who have been preparing for many, many years.
Hmm.
But at that time, perfection was not what they were chasing. They were
Yes.
trying to be icons. There were not many restrictions as such as idealism in pageantry. That is one major difference. That at that time, you can be imperfect. You can have like a no makeup look. You can still go out and be yourself and go in some crazy hair on the stage of Miss Universe. You can embrace your curls and all that.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like one part which is really, really different is we chase perfection. We
That
often
is
say, oh, this is not our idea of a Miss India or a Miss Universe, or this is maybe not our idea of this ideal beauty queen.
Do you feel a little burdened sometimes with certain responsibilities or certain I think you have to be in a box, right? This is the framework, and you being a Miss Universe India, you have to follow that, right? So, do you feel burdened, or it's okay? It's a matter of a year, it'll pass.
100%,
Yeah.
I would say. Because as much as the responsibilities are there, I enjoy them the most. There hasn't been a single day that I was not grateful. But at the same time, when you said, do you feel like you're in a box? Yes, I do. And the reason for that is when I was not this person, when I didn't have the sash on, I would often talk about, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to go out, work with children and do something for the world, and engage in like little activities, and where I would think that if I was a Miss India and if I would actually do that, what kind of an impact it would make. But now when I got the crown, a lot of restrictions come up that there are certain places that you can be at, there are certain places you cannot go to. And then I realized, I sat down with my team and I said, see, this is the kind of Miss India I want to be. I want to be a queen for the people. I want to be their person. I don't want that this sash to divide us. I want this sash to unite us. So that's when I realized that the box, it only exists in our imagination. And the team was happy enough to actually support all those plans. And till now, I think I don't have any regrets, rather, I have memories. I enjoy the kind of like schedule that I have, that if there's even a single day left or it's empty, I make sure that I make the most out of it.
That's so nice to hear. Do you want to share some incidents from our Miss Universe India journey? And of course, we can start off by you being a part of Miss Universe India 2024. You represented Rajasthan gracefully and then a strong comeback in 2025. Do you have some memories, stories, maybe fun incidents that you would want to share?
What specifically you want to ask?
Anything like you want to share. So I can share about my experience with you. We were there we were sharing a room during the last leg of our finale. So Manika, I and Kamakshi, we were together. And I think the best trio because we all were different personalities, yet somehow we gelled on together. So I and Kamakshi were the organized ones. Like we had our suitcases
100%. I was keeping my suitcases open at all times. Like
on
the
the
moment
floor.
I entered, and I was like, Smriti, hi. I'm a little messy. Like, is it okay? And Smriti was like, I'm very organized.
Yeah.
I said, can I keep my suitcases open because I forget what I keep where? And she was like,
Yeah.
yes, you can. And I can also remind you.
Yeah, I can remind
Many
you
of the
to
times
close
she
your
would tell me
suitcase.
what is in which bag. And many of times I was like, Smriti, I forgot where I kept my eyelashes. Please, like, let me. She's like, they're there
Yeah.
on the counter of the washroom.
Do you want to share the shoe and the socks incidents?
Oh, you do that.
Okay, so what happened? We had a sport event or something that was going on, so we need to wear our gym wear, shoes, and socks. So she was lucky enough to find her outfit for that day. But when it came to the
Lucky
shoe,
enough.
yeah, lucky enough.
Lucky enough.
But when it came to the shoe and the socks, so first we talk about the shoe.
Hmm.
We found one shoe in one suitcase, the other shoe in the other suitcase. We were still able to find one pair, like one socks of the pair in one of the other suitcases. But till now, I don't know if we have that other socks of that pair. We were not able to find that single sock. And I don't know, I think you wore two different
So
socks
I
for
was
that day.
wearing two different
Yeah.
socks
So
in
she was
each.
wearing two different socks in each leg. But those were the fun moments. Those were the happy moments that we still talk and laugh about.
Yes. So my organization, like my organizing skills are really bad. I'm really messy as well when it comes to packing. Packing is my ultimate
No,
nightmare. What's even crazier is unpacking.
Manika does not pack. She sews everything in the suitcase, and that's the packing she does.
That's my ADHD showing out.
And what about unpacking?
Unpacking is basically I would open everything. I have no memory of what I've kept in what. Open, I would
Hmm.
see, and I would just take them out like that. And then there's this habit, like I've been told and advised this again and again. Please try to keep where you pick things from. So if I pick something, there is zero likelihood I would actually put it back there.
Hmm.
And then I would
I
often
remember.
forget, like, so even when I forget something, I would go back to the trail, like, oh, यहाँ से ये किया था, फिर ये किया था, फिर ये किया था, फिर यहाँ से उठी थी, ये पानी पिया, फिर वहाँ गई. And that's like, अच्छा, fridge के ऊपर पड़ा है. That is how I usually find my things whenever I would lose anything.
And nowadays, so you're living out of suitcases, right? You've been traveling a lot, so even more difficult for you.
Yeah, but the best thing about it is our director franchisee, Mr. Amjad Kani, is so organized that even at the end of the day, if I forget something, because he forgets a lot of things,
Hmm.
but ever since I started traveling, he has been like the person who's extremely organized. I'm like, so I forgot my shirt and I forgot my lip gloss, and like, yeah, there I forgot my charger. I'm like, don't worry, I've already told them he'll be getting there and he'll bring it to the airport. It's like, thank you.
I know you forget a lot. Like, I also remember an incident from when we were sharing the room.
Yeah.
So the cleaning people from the hotel came to our room to clean up the mess that we've created.
I remember that one.
And he was very happily like cleaning the washroom and taking out the tissues and everything that we'd had. And very nicely, he's taking a golden set, choco set out of the room. I was like, wait a second, what are you doing? And I picked up the set and मुझे देखने की भी जरूरत नहीं थी. I knew it was Manika's. I didn't even ask Kamakshi ki, is this yours? I knew it was Manika's. I kept it in her bag, and I think that's the set you even wore during your PI, the
Yes.
Choco one.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the one.
Those are the stories like I really cherish now. Apart from that, you've been traveling a lot, right? So do you enjoy that, or is it like a stress for you?
I actually enjoy that. The reason being, like, I recently went to so many states and I recently got to go to Sikkim. And every single time I go to another state, I think I've done a Bharat Darshan at this point. Every single time I go to a state, we are always rating the food, the places, the stay, the hospitality. And Sikkim was unreal. Like, the place looks almost animated. So what happens is clouds are literally touching the earth,
floor, oh
the floor,
God.
the earth, and then there are like, have you seen the little sceneries जो हम बचपन में बनाते थे?
Those mountains
Yeah,
and sun coming.
that was my scene. Like that
Yeah.
was the view
Oh,
from my
wow.
room. ठीक है, नदी आ रही है बीच में से, एक
Wow.
पहाड़, दूसरा पहाड़. They're like little houses that I can see, and the place is like unreal. So yes, traveling is something I really enjoy. No matter how tired I get, I'm always up for it.
You also mentioned about food. Like, are you a foodie? Do you like eating?
Crazy food.
Crazy foodie.
Yes.
Yeah, that I can also make out from the last meal that we shared. So, for context, we had an option to have like a nice Italian platter served for us. But Manika, on the other hand, chose to eat from the canteen of the studio. Do you
The
want to tell
college
why?
person, the college girl in me always wants to explore the canteens. I am a DU student
Hmm.
and I have been exploring different canteens like throughout the campus. There's not a single canteen that I've missed.
Into you,
Yes.
which is the best one?
Hindu College, hands down. Hansraj comes very, very close
What
to
do you
that
like
one.
in both?
In Hindu, like everything is good, but even the Indian is really nice. In Hansraj, na, they're like that chatpata food that I really like, the macaroni, the Maggi,
Oh,
the chaat and all that. That I really like in Hansraj.
that's amazing. Is there like a cuisine that you prefer or you eat like possibly everything that's there on the plate?
My favorite cuisine is South Indian.
What do you like there?
Idli.
Oh,
I
lovely.
love idli. I love upma and appam.
Appams, right?
I love rasam. Rasam is something I make at home, and that's like
Hmm. Do
my
you
favorite thing.
cook?
I cook.
Like, can you cook the
I can
most
cook.
complicated?
I can cook anything and everything.
Wow, that's amazing. That's who real Manika is. Like, apart from the pageant and glamour world,
Hmm.
apart from pageants, what do you think? Like, do you have a business mind? Do you want to study more? Do you have a artistic mind? What are you as a
I feel
person?
like a mix of all.
Huh?
One thing I know for sure is there are certain elements of me that I understood that rather than trying to be something, I rather focus on what I already am because I feel like life is too short to actually become something else. And one thing I understand is I have zero understanding of money. Like, I have zero concept of money. I don't even understand what money is.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it has always just been like a token that I can exchange for something that I want. And that's it. That's why even when I'm doing work, I'm never asking, like, oh, how much does it pay? Or, what exactly is it for? That's why I don't understand the profitability or the loss of anything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know is I like doing it. I'm passionate about it, and this is something that I really would enjoy being a part of.
Then who manages your finances?
It's always the organization and my parents.
Okay, so whatever earnings you have, the
I
organization
have
keeps the
never
check.
looked at it. Yeah, I've never had to look at it because I was very, very clear from the very early on that, see, guys, I have zero understanding of this thing. And I don't even want to understand because my mom
Hmm.
has told me this thing that when you start equating life with money,
Hmm.
you will forget your purpose in life. For me, yes, I want to be in business and I know that in long term I will be.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also know that it would not be for money. I want to teach in long run. I don't know what exactly because there are so many things I would like to teach.
Mm-hmm.
But first things first, I love children. I love working with them and I want to do something in the sector of education. One big dream of mine is to open a school where we also provide services for neurodivergent kids because there are not many facilities out there where we can actually adopt those methods which can make it easier for those kids to get educated.
Share your journey about it.
My journey is after my after my first nationals, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and that became a little difficult for me because I thought to myself that I don't think that people who have the kind of brain that I have will get acceptance in the world. And that's when I understood that maybe this is exactly what we need to change. And it was difficult, and I confronted my parents. And because it's genetic, my whole family understood that, oh, this is why we are the way we are. This is why we forget to eat and forget to like do things. And like, that is why we don't have a concept of time. That is why we don't drink water. And yeah, and that is why we have been dropping out of courses, and like that is why we've been changing colleges for years and years and years. And that is the story for my brother, my father, then me, my grandfather. That is a cycle which you don't understand. And it's important that you don't break it, but rather become aware of it because then you actually have forgiveness for yourself. That, oh, it was not that I am at fault. It's just who I am. Maybe the world I am built for is maybe different. So this is definitely like one dream of mine that I want to.
And how did you perform exceptionally well with this condition that you came to know about yourself at the universe stage?
It has certain like ticks and icks,
Uh-huh.
but that is exactly what makes ADHD very, very, very interesting. I don't get nervous on stage.
Hmm.
I am incapable of getting nervous on stage because what happens is in ADHD, you actually get more calm under pressure. And on stage, the moment the stage is on and the pressure is on, everything goes silent. My eyes are moving in like slow motion. The time slows down, and it is the best feeling of the world. I feel like I'm meditating on stage. I'm at my happiest when I'm on stage. It's not the kind of happiness that is like full of like joy and excitement. It's
Mhm.
the kind of happiness that you feel like you're the most satisfied person in the world. As if you're in the middle of like a beautiful valley where like birds are chirping. That's what I feel when the lights are on, when the stage is on, when the music is on. So that's one thing that really helps.
And what is that one thing or one story that you would want to share about the Miss Universe platform that you were a part of that not a lot of people would know about? Maybe a fun story, something, some secrets that you want to spill out here,
Oh
anything.
yes. So there are so many secrets as such, but like the stories are also so many stories are there. One story that I would really like to share is that my prelims gown and my finale gown they arrived like hours before the actual competition. And then that was the first time like finally I was trying out the gowns with the new changes that had been done. And now I have no idea what's gonna happen. And I'm telling sir, I have zero practice in this one. He was like, I'll teach you. Now, I have a video of me and Nikhil sir and Ishan sir is there. And on one side, the entire team of Lee Tang and our designers from Vietnam is
Hmm.
there. And sir is walking and he's showing me exactly what I'm supposed to do on stage.
Nikhil, sir.
He is my walk trainer for the
Hmm.
evening gown competition. Yes. So he told me like, so first of all, you take your hand like this, then your hand like this, then you look like this and that way, and then in the center, and then you give a nice smile. And
Wow.
we're doing that exact thing. It's like, so your camera angles are going to come from here, then you look that way and this way. This is what was happening. Yes. Yeah. On the prelims morning.
I can only imagine him doing that.
I have the clip, I'll share it with you.
Can we make it public?
It's already public.
It's already public. I haven't seen it. Oh, wow. Wow, that's
So it was
amazing.
fun. And other than that, oh yes, my national costume.
Hmm.
Uh, so what happened was I'm supposed to walk on the stage like a minute later, and my costume designer, he's somewhere running. I am somewhere running, and I'm like, put on the costume on me. And I'm standing like this. And I'm running. He's running. It felt like a Kajol and Shah Rukh ka scene from a movie. And then he's bringing like, मैं आ गया हूँ सिमरन. And I had my team, my hair team. They decided, they literally, उन्होंने मुझ पे costume डाला within 30 seconds.
Wow,
I wore the costume like this. I went on stage immediately.
so amazing
And that
and
was like
nerve wracking.
seconds before I was called out. They were literally like, India, 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 India. And I'm there. I'm like, just 1 second, one more second. And that's it. I was there.
But you performed so well. It didn't look like something was happening backstage. Something that big was happening
That
backstage.
is exactly where it gets fun. Like, the crazier things get, the
Mhm.
better it gets. Like, after that, I was laughing like anything on stage.
Also, we've had our lunch. We've had our snacks from the canteen, but we missed on the dessert, right?
Yes.
So we have our sweetest partner,
Oh
Crumble
my
Bumble.
god.
They've sent
I
you.
would like to try that.
Okay, first tell me which is your favorite fruit or which fruits do you like?
My favorite fruit is lychee.
Okay.
The winner is lychee. The first runner up is mango. And the second runner up is watermelon.
Okay, so one of these three fruits is inside this, but in the form
Really?
of a dessert. And I'm very excited for you
Is
to
it
try.
mango?
I don't know.
Let's open it.
Why would you say so?
Because I can smell mango, even if
Mm.
it's a kilometer away.
You were
What did I
right.
say? You guys, what did I say? Huh? This is
It's
so good.
it's so far
Do I
my
have something
yeah.
better?
There's a spoon there. There's tissue paper, and this brand is so far my favorite dessert brand in Delhi. And they
Hmm.
were kind enough to be our dessert partner. And I wanted all my guests from now on to try
It's
their desserts.
legit mango.
Yeah, mango, crumble, caramel. Has it?
That's fresh. You want to try it?
No, I've had it. It's your share. We also have cookies from them.
Hmm.
This also you can take home. I'll keep it here. But you have to try them. They are the best. They're the best in the
I want to
city.
eat this one first. Like, it's too good, man.
You enjoy your dessert. We're here because I also wanted this conversation to be a little chilled out. I think this is one big part of it. So we should be having fun shooting this. You guys should have fun watching this. That was the main intent. And before that, before I forget, I
Hmm.
would want you to introduce you to the next segment of this conversation. That is the question, or that is the questions that the audience has sent for you. So put a poll on my Instagram. I do that for every guest that I have. And for
Aha.
you especially, I have a lot of questions. Fun, interesting, a little spicy. So are you ready for it?
Let's get started.
Perfect. So the first question is, would Manika like to compete at Miss World if she gets a chance? Or can Manika go for Miss International? And this question has appeared a lot of times on my Instagram.
I'm very grateful for the kind of love you guys have been giving, and I'm very happy that people like to see me on stage, and that's something I enjoy as well. But as far as future in pageantry is concerned, I think it's all about future. I just came out of this phase and I want to enjoy it for a little while. So let's see how it goes.
So it's not decided yet. Fingers crossed. You'll know when you'll know. So the next question is, who are your favorite Miss Universe India contestants so far? They're referring to the 2026 batch.
This year's batch, I am incredibly happy. And the reason for that is every single girl, they're putting their 110% into the competition. I can see from the wardrobe, from the walk to the passerella, and the kind of communication skills they're coming with. The voices are strong, the profiles are strong, and most importantly, the spirits are like out of this world. I've
Hmm.
seen girls competing again and again and again without giving up, and that is one thing that is really, really commendable. So, saying favorites would be a wrong thing because I still can't decide. But I'm yet to meet them in a
Hmm.
few days, and then probably we can tell.
So you're not answering that question.
Not answering.
Who are your favorites from 2025 then?
Oh, 2025. I'll have to be biased. It has to be you, for sure.
No, not me.
Kamakshi, for sure.
Okay.
So I have a big thing for communicators, like good
Hmm.
communicators, somebody who can speak really, really well. And Smriti and Kamakshi were the were two of the strongest communicators, two strongest, speakers in the entire batch because I'd seen you from Beauty High as well. So that's something I have mad respect for. Another person who was really close to me, and I have mad respect for that girl, that's Mehak.
Oh, a baby.
Yes, Mehak is our
Yeah.
baby, but at the same time, the kind of maturity she holds
Yeah.
in front of the camera, but off camera, she's a baby. She'll always be my baby.
She's the sweetest. She also wanted to come for the podcast today, but she had her exam. So probably the next time she's going to be on the seat.
Definitely. I would love to see that one. Another person I really adored was Ojasvi.
Oh,
And that is majorly because the kind of energy Ojasvi brings into the competition. You would think that it's just the diva energy that she shows on the stage, but beyond that, I remember because in a rehearsal routine,
yeah.
Ojasvi was there on my side. And I remember standing with her and it was just so fun. Like she's all giggly, she's so funny.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really like about her. So it's just fun being around her.
You've named some amazing people out. Of course, amazing people out there. Okay, so the next question for you is you've visited almost every state till now. Which was your favorite and why?
That's a very difficult one. Oh my god. So, my most favorite state that I've visited till now, it has to be Tamil Nadu and Manipur
Wow. Why?
and Kerala for that matter.
Okay. Why?
The reason being, in Kerala, I got to meet Archana, and she's a pageant veteran, and I have genuinely this like soft corner for her. And when I met her, she was exactly how I imagined. And my first thing was like, you have to show me around, and you have to make me have the best food in the town. So she actually took me and Ria around, and I got to also meet Ria Singha there. So that was like a little chit chat we had there. That was nice. Tamil Nadu because Nandini is a diva. I had a great experience there. And then Tamil Nadu as a state and Chennai as a city, I have certain connection to it. And the food and everything, I love everything about it. So we were living near the beach and it was just so good to just be there. And the contestants, they were really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Apart from that, Manipur, because I had my best food experience of this entire year in Manipur, I have to tell you. So Manipur is that one northeast state where I had the best vegetarian food
Wow.
because they have a lot of varieties for that. I was there and Robert Neurang, he
Hmm.
actually told me that Manipur has a lot of variety when it comes to vegetarian food, and he said you will experience that tomorrow. And so did I. I also got to meet Noyanita Lode, Miss Universe India 2020, 2014,
14.
which was incredibly sweet. She's a sweetheart.
All your answers somehow are surrounded around food, and I'm so enjoying this conversation that I like this place because good food. I like that person because she
Yeah,
introduced me to good food.
Kerala has great food. Tamil Nadu had great food. Manipur, like, I have a video of that. Like, I went to the chefs and I was like, guys, I'm so sorry, but I have to make a video. Can I make a video? And I like, you, you guys have given me the best food experience of my life. That was heavenly.
I can relate to it because I also enjoy eating food. The concept of food is so fascinating in my head. What is that one place in Delhi that you can always go to if you're craving?
Huh. So, as I said, my most favorite food and cuisine is like South Indian.
Yeah.
So, in Rajouri Garden,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are many fancy places like Bene and all, but
Yeah.
in Rajouri Garden, there's this tiny shop called Jai Shri Durga Dosa Corner. And I've been having my breakfast, which is idli, from there for almost 1.5 years.
Wow.
And that's one place I've been going again and again and again. Whenever I'm in Delhi, I always make it a point to go there. I was just there last night.
That shop is not going to stay small anymore.
I'm sure, and it shouldn't. They serve the best South Indian food in that city.
Amazing. We'll make some food plans after this for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so the next question for you is what's your guilty pleasure? I think by now everybody knows it, but are you
I don't
guilty
feel
of it?
guilty for
Or you're
eating.
not guilty? I
No.
sometimes do feel guilty after having a big tin of dessert.
My only guilty pleasure is vanishing. I
Ah,
can vanish from anywhere at any time, very randomly.
physically or mentally?
Both.
Both.
Like, you can find me here, and then
Hmm.
10 minutes later, I might not be there.
I think that's your ADHD
I
speaking.
wander off. I can't sit in one place. I can't even stand at one place.
Hmm.
So sometimes I have the tendency to leave my phone away and then just walk out for like around 30 minutes or something, and then I come back randomly. My family is accustomed to it, and the organization was not. So when that happened, a few times they thought I got kidnapped.
Oh god, that's hilarious. So my next question for you is who was your roommate in Miss Universe 2025 and how was your experience with her?
Oh, my roommate was Julia from El Salvador, and she was a sweetheart. I still remember I arrived on the second day of Miss Universe, and it was really late at night. It was around two and a half. And then I knocked the door. It's like, hi. And Julia came with her face mask on. It's like, hi, I'm so sorry for disturbing. She's like, no, 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 don't worry. Come, come, come. And I was like, do you want to eat something? She's like, I have pizza with me. And legit, I'm telling you, this sums up Julia.
Mhm.
The person with the best food, take care. And then she's somebody, she told me she doesn't share her food. But with me, she always did. So I think a lot of people are going to be very jealous.
You know, the whole conversation again concluded to food.
That is the way to my heart, trust me.
I'm loving this conversation for that matter.
You know, she was also really great in this thing. She allowed me to open my suitcases. And she legit, like, I was like, I'm not able to find anything. And she legit came up to me. She's like, why don't you open? It's like, I have 19 suitcases. Open all of them. So Julia had her national director, I had mine. Both of us, we would get ready at the same time and we would always be in front of the mirror. On one side of the mirror, her phone was there. On other, mine was there. Both the phones are up on the mirror. They were sticking over there.
Sticking, yeah.
And either say sir would give me instructions, her national director was giving her instructions. And like, your hair should be like this should be like that should be like that. I'm like, it's so difficult to keep up with these guys, man. Like, their expectations are so crazy. But that's one part we really liked. And then they also knew each other, the national directors. And
Oh.
like, it was fun.
How did you manage your packing and everything there?
I didn't.
No? Again,
I
the Tuso
couldn't.
concept.
The Tunso concept was there. So my packing was done by Nikhil sir in 10 minutes on the morning of the day I was supposed to go to
Oh.
Miss Universe. Within 10 minutes. And then when I went to Miss Universe, like, hi sir, where is the pink gown? And he was like, check in suitcase number A. I said, okay, so it's not there. Suitcase number B, it's not there. So others are not marked. They are identical. And so it's like, खोलो आप मैं आता हूँ हाँ मैं करता हूँ phone. And I was opening all the suitcases like, sir, I got the outfit. Jewelry कहाँ है? A और B में से किसी में है.
I can very well
So now
imagine.
you can see everybody was bad with packing, but we managed somehow.
You managed pretty well. All your looks were fabulous. Fabulous.
That's all because of the team. Like, in morning, I was supposed to wear a black suit, a tux actually, on day one of Miss Universe.
Wow.
But then, like, in the morning, I was getting ready. I did my makeup and everything, and then I get a call from Nicholson, and it's like, you have that outfit of Hong Tony, the blue one? I was like, yeah, I have. It's like, you're wearing that one today. I said, okay. All right. So I was gonna go out like in 5 minutes. He said, no, do that. It'll be nice. It's like, okay, done. So this is how all the looks were curated. I had Satiki, a stylist. I had and I had so many people like giving me the advices all the time. Even my brother would at times call me. I'm like, your hair was not good. It could have been like a sleek one or something. And that's why I say, like, it's a team effort. And anytime my fans would say something that, Manika, do this, ever since Nationals I learned, I would do that. If you guys tell me to wear like any color, I will wear it the next day because you guys told me to. And it has always worked.
That is your sign to mention the weirdest of the weirdest combinations that you want to see on Manika. And she's promised that she's going to do that.
I will do it. Trust me. I promise that.
Even I can vouch for that she would do that. So the next question for you is, interesting. How did you feel, or how do you still feel about the love that you get from pageant pages?
It's overwhelming because I know what it's like to be on the other side. I know what it's like to be a pageant page and be a pageant fan and, support our queens. But at the same time, like, I fairly didn't expect that. All I feel is gratitude. And my only aim in life was, even for the pageantry, was to make people fall in love with pageants and to make them watch Miss Universe on a daily basis. And if I was able to do that, pageant pages have a huge role to play in that. They were the ones giving and making sure that they give every single update about it. I still remember most of my pictures that I was getting, they were from Nasty and Mrs.
Yeah.
Logi, and like so many other pages were there. Pageant Factory was there. They would source my pictures before I could, before my team could. And they would always send me up like, Manika, post this, do that, do this. And that was everything. It was overwhelming.
Nasty was so good. The edit that they created for my national costume, where I had the India Gate in the backdrop,
Nasty gets like HD.
everything. I don't know how
Everything
and from
HD.
where. And that I used in my finale walk as well. Like before my finale walk, a video was played. You were there, right?
Yeah.
So that video was playing that Nasty had edited.
Oh
And I
my God.
really love them for doing these things for us. It takes a lot of time and effort. Yes. So the next question is, in Chris, people want to know what should they do and should not do in a PI.
What they should do in a PI, before that, I would tell what not to do. What not to do is, now, listen up. Be yourself. We are not looking for like a Miss Universe in a PI. We're just looking for somebody who's a person, who's a girl, and we want to see what's inside you and what it's like to just be with you. Because at the end of the day, we are not just looking for somebody who's a public figure. That star quality, you see it on stage. But that human side of you is what we see in the PI. So just be yourself, chill out, and enjoy being there.
Amazing advice. Somebody is complimenting you on your makeup and hair skills, and they're asking, is it important to learn to do your own hair and makeup for a pageant?
Absolutely. The reason being, at Miss Universe, you don't get hair and makeup artists. The only time I got hair and makeup artists was on the day of welcome ceremony and on the day of prelims and finale. Other than that, for every single day, Miss Universe is very strict about it, and they were very clear about it that we want a girl who can do her own hair and makeup. Because as Miss Universe, you are expected to do like your best, to look like your best at all times. So you might find yourself doing your makeup on a random airport's washroom. And as unglamorous it might sound, this is how it is. This is how life is, and it's fun. So yes, hair and makeup you should definitely learn. And for me myself as well, I would not wait to get my makeup done from a makeup artist. I understood that 122 girls are there. It's almost impossible to get it done for all of them at the same time. So what I would always do is I would always kind of do my own makeup, and then I would go to them, and that's why when they were like, "Oh, she's done it already. Like, let's bring her in." So they will just do like a little touch up on me,
Yeah.
and we were good to go.
That's an amazing advice. You all should learn it. As a basic life skill, also, I'd say, in today's
Yes.
world, where everything is dependent on how you look, how you present yourself, you should at least know the basics of makeup and hair.
You get a lot more control over your look as well because of that. You exactly know how you want to be, and the whole look, it kind of turns out to be your vision. So
Absolutely.
that's important.
So the next question for you is, oh, something for me. Oh, they're complimenting the podcast. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. The next question is, how was the exact, what do they say? I don't really understand what people are trying to ask. So somebody wants to know the exact amount that you spent during your entire journey.
During my entire journey for Miss India, it was around 3.5 lakh. And I think if we stretch it out to like hotel charges for my mother for the last 2 to 3 days, it would make up to be like around 4, but not more than that. And then for Miss Universe, I didn't spend anything.
The organization took
Yeah,
care
they
of
take
it.
care of everything.
How does that go about? Like, how do they, of course, like now business comes into play, right? So, how do they take care of your expenses? Like, where do they get funds from? How do they manage your stays, expenses, outfits? What is the math behind it?
So different organizations have different approaches to competition. Even in Miss Universe, there were many organizations and countries who were not exactly paying for the candidate's entire expense. They were kind of splitting, or they were taking care of the travel and stay. Other than that, the wardrobe and everything, it was being taken care of by the candidate. In my case, or in the case of Glamour and Supermodel India, it has always been the case. They take care of anything and everything. So I told the organization, I asked, like, okay, do I need to arrange something and all? They were like, the moment I won, they said, now you have a team. You don't need to worry about anything. If you have any specific vision, present it out loud, tell that to us, and we'll take care of it. And that's it. So my job was just to prepare, tell them what I want, and that's it.
Okay, Manika, so the next question for you is, what are your plans after your reign is over?
I want to explore studies, like I want to do law. So my first plan is, of course, to do LLB, and the next plan is to pursue acting.
Wow.
So I feel like academics and art are two things, when they go side by side, they really like get me going.
That's amazing. I think your fans must be happy listening to this. A lot of people are expecting you to be a part of Bollywood now. All right. So the next question for you or for me is, somebody wants Mehak on the show. Yes, you're getting her super
Yes,
soon.
she has to be there.
And they also want to know the designer for your final walk before you crown somebody else.
Somebody very iconic has
Mhm.
said this line, and she was also a contestant from Meghalaya. It's a secret.
It's a secret, you'll know. Ooh, somebody's saying, was Miss Universe 2025 totally unfair?
Was Miss Universe 2025 completely unfair? Well, I feel judgments are subjective,
Mhm.
but at the same time, Miss Universe is a pageant that I've grown up watching. I grew up watching it. So it's a little sad that these are the comments that are being made about an organization like that. And that's pretty much it. It breaks my heart that queens are questioned and crowns are questioned.
Another question from that I got was, how did you feel when you were not called in the top 12?
I didn't feel anything at that time. I felt like, okay.
How did you cope up with it? Or was it okay? You were satisfied with that position? You had bigger plans for the future? What were you
I
thinking?
am always the person who never says that I felt bad or I deserved more. Because one thing I've seen in life, universe works in balance, and if you have worked hard and you get less, that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
You always get what you have worked for. And anytime you feel that the due is left, it gets fulfilled. So, whatever my placement has been, I know that I got to wear that sash of India. Not being in top 12 or anything, it never mattered, because at that time, when I was standing, I could see my team, I could see my family on one side, and I saw them cheering. So, when I say, like, when I didn't make it, I was still just looking at them. I was not even listening if my name was being announced. I could just see them. I had tears in my eyes. I was happy. And that's the feeling that I think all the girls have on stage. For some reason, I've never been able to think about results for that matter.
Amazing. Now somebody is asking you to describe yourself in one word.
What would you do?
To describe myself in one word,
Uh-huh.
I'd probably say optimistic. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing.
Oh, that's definitely one thing I can vouch for. So, if I have to describe myself in one word, I would say adventurous. I have to do different things at all times, and that's something that keeps me alive.
That's amazing, yeah. All right, Manika, there are a lot of questions and we are a little short on time. So I'll quickly take last few questions before we move on to the rapid fire round of this segment. So the last or the second last question for you is, your favorite gown in Miss Universe competition till now?
My favorite gown in Miss
Yes.
Universe competition,
Yes.
it has to be the red gown I wore in prelims by Namot.
Oh yes, that one.
Yes.
Lovely. So many edits on that as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Uh, Again, there's a question about your Northeast tour, and which state's crowd did you like the most?
I really like Manipur's crowd.
Mhm.
As I've said it in the speech as well that I gave, that
Yeah.
this is one of the best crowds that I've ever seen. They were literally cheering for every single girl. There was not a single girl who was left out. And that was the
Mhm.
most supportive crowd that I've ever seen. Anytime anything went wrong, even slightly wrong,
Haha.
they were the most cheerful ones. They were supportive. Not for a single second that I feel like they were pulling anybody down. Rather, they were uplifting everyone over there.
That's so nice.
That's beautiful.
Last question, and we'll end with that.
Yeah.
People want to know your birthday.
It's 3 July 2003. Now you have it.
Sad because I don't think our podcast would release until first, second week of July. I'll try to get this one done
Take it done.
on priority, and I hope it gets released before your birthday.
You can cut the short and like get it done.
This short, of course, done. So many wishes for you then. All right. Now let's quickly move on to the rapid fire round. The questions are easy, tricky, but you have to be fast. Okay.
Mhm.
So the first question is early bird or a night owl?
Want to be an early bird, but I'm a night owl.
Sweet or spicy?
Spicy at all times. I don't have a sweet tooth.
That's the Rajasthani of inside you speaking.
We have desserts before our meals, so you can understand now.
I made you had one after your meal, but I hope that was worth it.
It was worth it.
Okay, heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Dance or gym?
None.
None. What do you like to do for movement?
Actually, both are good. If in case dance is there, I like to do bhangra.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
something I enjoy.
Hidden talent nobody knows about.
Hidden talent that nobody knows about. I paint.
You
I
paint
paint.
like professionally or for fun, or how do you?
I've been painting all my life. If there's something that I love other than pageantry, it's painting.
Share some pictures on your Instagram now for the
Definitely.
audience.
Done.
The next question is one person you'd call at 3 a.m.
One person I would call at 3 a.m. Satiki.
I think all of us at this point would call him.
Okay, one person I would call at 3 a.m. would always be my brother.
Mhm.
And we don't talk that often, but at the same time, whenever we do and whenever I give him a call,
Hmm.
it's always like he would leave everything that he's doing and he would always pick up the call, be like, what do you want? What do you need, in fact? So that's how it is. We don't talk that much, we don't meet that often, but whenever I call, he understands that this is probably the time when she needs me. And fun fact, in Miss Universe India was the time when we actually started talking a lot.
Oh,
Because we have a 10-year age gap, and he is somebody I've learned so much from because he has helped me understand the kind of mindset that the world has. I feel like I've always been a very shielded, guarded person who has been viewing the world in an exceptionally positive light. So he, on the other hand, he shows me the other side and makes sure that I still maintain that complete like perspective, because he believes that anybody who has that perspective about the world, they cannot go wrong. I do believe that delusion is the way to, everything that you want. And he likes to maintain that. He always says like, you deserve the best, and you should actually see yourself always being the worthy one, and he makes sure that
so
that is
nice.
always the case.
It's amazing. Okay, last thing you Googled, and do you Google yourself?
Aha. It's okay. I would want you to see it.
Miss Universe page.
No, it's nazar clockwise and anti-clockwise.
What? What does that even mean?
So जब आप नज़र उतारते हैं तो वो एंटी क्लॉकवाइज उतारते हैं क्लॉकवाइज उतारते हैं क्योंकि I was coming back from right now like the Manipur and the Arunachal tour, and I and Trishna were there, and
Yeah.
I have been falling in my heels. Like I fell in my heels for 4 times in a row, and I ended up getting myself injured for the fourth. You
On the
put my pictures on your Insta. Okay,
yeah,
Smriti had put up a story where she had put like a picture of a foot, like
yeah, her
knee,
injured knee. It was bleeding, but it was covered in a band-aid. And I was like, guess who?
and that was me.
And she is falling quite often.
4 times. I even
Yeah.
fell on the can red carpet, and you won't believe, like, we were getting pictures clicked
Hmm.
and the can,
Hmm.
and I told my photographer, I want that fall in Dior moment that
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence had,
Yes.
and I ended up having it exactly at the can stairs. So yeah, that's there.
One last question for the rapid fire round.
Hmm.
One outfit that you wore and you still think, what was I doing?
One outfit I wore and what was I doing? Good question. So in Miss Universe India 2024,
Mhm.
during the final rehearsals, I wore a black short dress with a borla.
The
Borla.
what's that?
So it's
Oh,
the Rajasthani headpiece. I don't know. I felt really cute. And then,
felt
like,
cute. Might delete it later.
but I haven't deleted it till now. I really like that outfit. I know there's so many people that still talk about this, that, Manika, you were wearing borlas at all times in Miss Universe India 2024. You were so Rajasthani that even Rajasthan was like, ab zyada ho raha hai. But that outfit, I don't know
Hmm.
what I felt, but I still feel like it's one of the best I've ever done.
Yeah, I'll go and check that one out. So
Definitely.
we've almost come to the end of our conversation. Before we conclude this, Manika, please share some advice to the people who are watching this and who want to participate in a pageant. What would your words of wisdom be for them?
Do you love pageants? Do you watch pageants? Do you enjoy pageants? These are the questions that you need to ask rather than asking, what should I do to be the best girl out there? How should I look pretty? Because more than anything, pageantry rewards a love for it. And as long as you love this world, you love the stage. And as there was this quote in Michael movie, which I feel I really relate to, that what's special about you is that you have something to say, and that is a rarity.
That's amazing. I hope you guys had an amazing time watching and listening to our conversation. Thank you, Manika, for being a part of our show. It was lovely having you. And for you guys, I hope you guys found this informative. If you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you again very soon with another episode of Unstitched with Smithy.